Hello. Today I want to talk about one of the most essential experiences that seems to drive tics. Now, I'm going to use some props today to try to demonstrate or make these concepts easier to understand. I will be starting with my brain, which is a little bit damaged from years of working with kids, but this brain and these post-it notes will be my presentation. So, when a tic happens, as I described in a previous video, there's a feeling that comes before it that we tend to call an urge or premonitory urge, or we can get even more technical and call it premonitory sensory phenomenon, because it's almost kind of like it's a sense, a sort of sensory experience, like something you would hear or feel. Anyway, I'm just going to call it the urge. So the urge occurs prior to the tic. And what the brain does is it produces the urge. The urge comes from the brain. And then the brain finds that the tic can make the urge go away for a moment. Now, that's a really powerful thing for the brain because the urge feels uncomfortable, and by performing the tic, it can make that discomfort go away. Therefore, the brain will keep trying to do the tic whenever the urge shows up again. Now, one of the challenging things that tends to happen with tics is that other people may notice them, and they may say something about it, or they may respond in some way. Parents often will start off by trying to get their children to stop doing the tics because they're like, oh, that's an unusual behavior, and people might say something about it, or you might even get teased for it. And so parents often, because they're concerned for their child's welfare, they tend to say something to the child about it, and they try to make the tics stop. That's well-meaning, but what happens is we've got the urge, which leads to the tic, and that's the normal pattern. Now we add in this feeling of stress from being in trouble, or feeling like one is in trouble because other people said something about it. And the brain says, well, attach that to the tic. Whenever I do the tic, I get in trouble. That means I really don't want to get in trouble. So the brain has a connection now between the urge and ultimately getting in trouble. The urge was already uncomfortable, and therefore the brain says, so I should do the tic to get rid of the urge. But if now the urge is also connected to that stress of getting in trouble, then it means that the urge has now become even more uncomfortable. And this is where we enter into one of the strange situations, or really it's a paradox, with tics, which is if the urge is connected to the stress of getting in trouble, then I really need to get rid of the urge, which means I really better do the tic, and I better do it soon, or else that feeling is going to stick around and is connected to this. So the stress of being corrected or told that you've done something wrong or that you need to stop doing something only seems to make the urge get even more powerful in its ability to motivate a tic. So one of the things that we will usually advise parents to do is to try to notice when they are feeling the need to correct a child or point out the tic. Instead, if possible, don't really say or do much try not to really even respond to the tic if you can help it. If we point it out, then the brain takes notice of that. It doesn't matter if the child says like, I know you aren't trying to make me feel like I'm in trouble. The brain doesn't care about that as much. The brain is just connecting the experiences of the urge and the response from other people. And that can make the urge an even more powerful factor in motivating the tic, which can make the tic stronger, and it can make it last longer. So where possible, not really acknowledging or responding to the tic is ideal. Most of the time anyway. So I'm going to wrap up there. And again, I want to invite any questions. I don't have comments enabled, so you can't ask questions through the comments, but I believe I've now successfully attached an email account to these videos. So if you have any questions, you can send me an email and I will try to respond to you fairly quickly. Thank you.